Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio, and welcome to episode number 65. And in this episode we're going to be talking about taking instruction. There's a great quote that went viral, and it said, if at first you don't succeed, try listening to what your coach said. A lot of times, people or fighters, I would say, boxers sometimes may blame their coaches or circumstances for them not being successful. But it all has to start with taking instruction. If you're only doing partial of what an instruction is or a part of what was said, then you can't judge what is being said in its totality because you didn't execute everything in its totality. So taking instruction is extremely important. Following a game plan. If you have a game plan and you don't follow each part of that game plan, you haven't executed. Then you can't judge even the game plan, whether the game plan worked or not, because you didn't execute the game plan properly. So it's so important to be able to take instruction and do exactly what it is you're being told, not what you interpreting it to be. Sometimes people make things a lot more complicated. I think we all do that. But if you have a coach, the first thing is trust what that coach says when you're inside that ring, because they have the broader view of what's going on. When you're in a highly stressful situation, usually you're going to have tunnel vision, audio exclusion. You're going to be blocking everything out except what's in front of you. And your coach is that other set of eyes and ears that can see things on a bigger scale. So take that instruction and take it exactly what's being said. Sometimes less is more. And what I mean by that is sometimes you may feel like you've got to throw combinations, but it might be a situation where the jab might be enough. Doing a double jab or a triple jab might be enough, because if you start throwing bent arm blows or wide punches, you might be leaving yourself more open. Something might be seen there. So, when you're working with someone, you're working with a coach, you got to be able to trust your coach, take that instruction and take what they say literally. If you're not sure what they're saying, the sparring and the training days, that's what they're there for, to iron all of that out so that you can take the instruction and execute exactly. And then if something doesn't work, you can go back to the drawing board and say, we executed this exactly as we planned to. It didn't work. We know that doesn't work. Now we can move on to something else. But if you're just moving on and you haven't executed something properly, you're wasting your time. You may have to double back and go over things that you've done already. So I know we're speaking kind of in a lot of vague terms here, but the overall purpose and of the episode and the main message is focus on taking instruction and executing on that instruction to the letter. Don't make things more than they are. Execute the way that you're being told. And I think that a lot more people will find more success, especially inside the squared circle, as the ring is called. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the DO Boxing Show. And remember, you can send us any messages or ask us to do any topics that you're interested in relation to boxing by just sending us a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO or through Hotmail, Okposio@hotmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Dameon Okposio, to get each episode of the DO Boxing Show. And be sure to take part in our first contest in episode number 37. And we mail out our prize to anywhere in Canada. And that's going to wrap up in March. Thanks again for viewing our episode, and we appreciate the support.